You guys want this toast recipe? That's what this video is gonna be about, is just toast. If you guys like this video, or if you like your toast buttered, please subscribe to our channel. All right, guys, in this video, we're gonna look at 208 volt Delta high leg, okay? In this shop, in this panel here behind me, we have a 3-phase Delta system. So it's a 240-120 Delta. So what that means, simply put, is we have a wild leg in here. If you can see, this wire labeled with orange tape as required by the NEC for all high legs is 208 volts to ground or to neutral. We want to plug some things in, jimmy up some things, and see what happens when you put some 120 volt equipment on 208 volts. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens and why you shouldn't do that. First, do not try any of this at home. I'm a licensed electrician. I'm familiar with electricity and some safe practices. So please do not try this at home. And also, you keyboard warriors out there, I don't want you commenting on my wiring methods, okay? This is not NEC approved wiring. This is for video purposes, all right? If I get one comment from a keyboard warrior out there saying, you didn't use a connector in your box. Why'd you put your keyless on a pancake box with THHN? Okay, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Not one comment. Not one comment. All right. So let's take a look. Let's see what happens when we plug some of these things into 120 volts. How do they operate? How should they operate? All right, I'm gonna put my gloves on here, right? A little bit of safety. I got my safety squints as well, so protected. Just kidding. I do have real safety shades. All right, first thing we got here, light bulb. You see the filament in there? This is an incandescent light bulb, okay? So that filament in there creates resistance as the electricity flows through it, generates heat, which ultimately is generating light. Okay, so that filament is rated for 120 volts. So we're gonna see what happens when you put 208 volts on it. Next thing I got here, we're gonna try out. And I just want you guys to see how it looks on 120 volts. It's this corded drill from Master Mechanic. That thing is cooking. This thing spins quick. I'm impressed. I gotta give it to it. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 6 amps. Okay. Third item we're gonna test out today is this toaster oven. Toaster oven, kind of like a light bulb. It's got heating filaments in it. Okay, kind of not like a light bulb, but it has a filament in it specifically for heating, all right? Not specifically to produce light. These filaments are in here, not in a vacuum, and it just creates heat, all right? So plugged in here. Oh, I see smokes. See that? There's your heating filaments in there. Okay? Glowing nice and red. So they're generating light, right, because of that heat, but they're not nearly making as much light as a light bulb, and they can't because they're not in a vacuum, and those filaments would burn up before they produce that much light. Or at least that's how I understand it. Could be wrong. Those are the 3 items we're gonna look at. All of this is on 120 volts right now. I'm gonna show you in the panel, put my meter on here, show you the voltage so you know I'm not playing with you, and then we're gonna pump it up to 208 volts on these devices and see what happens. Remember, do not do this at home. This is not safe. So we're feeding this panel off this main breaker here, all right? This is a 3-pole breaker, so we have 3 legs coming in here. We've got our black, or our A phase, our B phase, which is labeled orange. This high leg has to be labeled orange according to code, and our C phase, which in this case they label blue. I'm gonna show you all 3 legs to ground or to neutral. Our grounds and our neutrals are bonded in this panel, just so you know. Can you see that? Okay, that's A phase. C phase, 123, okay? And high leg, okay? On this one, we have 216 volts, not 208 volts. You're obviously gonna have some variance out there depending on where you're at and how the setup is, but still 208, close enough. Okay, let's go phase to phase. Let's go A to B, or sorry, A to C. 247. All right, let's go C to B. 248. And let's go B to A. 248. Okay. Apparently this was pretty common in older shops, agriculture settings, commercial buildings. I don't think it's as common anymore. The building I'm in right now is an older ag building on a farm. I'm still trying to wrap my head around exactly how it all works. So don't hate me too much. Don't judge me too much. My explanations are simple. Anyway, we got that high leg. All right. So L to L, A to B, B to C, A to C, you're gonna get 240 volts. But that wild leg in there is 208, or in this case, 216 volts to neutral. And our other two legs, A and C, are 120 to neutral. So when you're working in these panels, you have to know which phase the high leg is on. Okay, in this case, it's B. And what I have seen, that's pretty normal to be on B, but I don't think that's required. I think you could put it on C if you wanted to, or on A. I think. Okay, but when you're wiring, if you're putting single pole breakers in here to power, 120 volt equipment, you have to make sure you don't throw a single pole breaker on that wild leg. Here is the breaker that I put in that we're going to use to demonstrate some things here. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. It goes down A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. And that all starts right here, A, B, C. Okay, capiche? All right. So we got through that. I have shown you what stuff looks like when it's plugged into 120 volts. You guys already knew that. You do it every day. If you're American, you do it every day. If you're not, you got some other voltage. That's cool too. I think in Europe, you guys just do 240 volt. So to you guys, this is still whatever, but to Americans, it's kind of cool. So remember, for the third time, don't try this at home. All right? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to get rid of my 120 volts, shut the breaker off, disconnect my wire. Boop. Wire disconnected. Now I'm going to bump up to this other breaker here that I have installed on phase B. Okay, so I'm going here. All right, the breaker is off when I put this wire on. Safety tip number one, when you're putting a wire on a breaker, make sure the breaker's off so you don't immediately energize whatever the load is the second you touch that wire. So we're going to go in here, land that here. All right, folks. So we're landed on 277. I have my light switch off in my makeshift box here. Not up to code, I'm sorry. Not even close. This is underground cable too. That's what I had, it was close. So, okay, so anyway, everything's off. I'm gonna turn this breaker on. All right, so now to my makeshift box here. We have 277 volts. Let's see, do I have a way of showing you that? I said 277, I meant 208. Sorry, I've been making videos about 277 recently too. So I'm plugged in. What do you see? Get in there. Okay, 216. You see that? All right, that is in the plug, the reset I have right here. First test is gonna be this light bulb, incandescent light bulb. I wanna try and get it focused on the filament. Ready? Steady. Go. Nope, wait. Gotcha. It's still holding. It's holding. Wow. Guys, I can't believe it held that long. I'm impressed. All right, guys, I don't know if you can see me. Okay, I've got it set up so I don't have to hold it because I don't really want to hold it forever. Anyway, and I'm gonna flip this back on and we're gonna see what happens. Still holding. Still holding. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, because I wanna do a little demonstration here, because this is not blowing as fast as I thought it would. I'm going to make the settings on the camera so they don't automatically adjust when the brightness of the light bulb changes. I'm gonna go back to 120 volts, turn it on with the camera settings locked, and the light will come on. You'll see the brightness on screen. And then I'm gonna keep those settings locked, go to 208 volts, turn it back on, flip the light on. You're gonna see how much brighter or different it is, if it's different at all. So let's do that real quick. So let's go ahead, I'm back on 120 volts. Gotta turn the breaker on. Now, okay, so can you see? That's the brightness. I'm gonna shut this back off. Okay. Guys, I'm back at 208 volts. Camera settings have not changed. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, can you tell? It's brighter, I think. Looks brighter to me. Kind of cool, huh? I don't know, guys. I've had this light bulb on for 5 minutes. I don't have all night to leave it on. It's just like 10:30 at night, by the way. We're gonna move on. Actually, I'm gonna try another light bulb. Okay, I've got this light bulb, which has pretty big filament in it. I was hoping that that would look kind of cool when I plug it in. Okay, let's see what happens. We're at 208 volts. Woo! There we go. Popped it, obviously. Wow. So look at this. On the socket there, we had an arc. Burned a little bit of a hole in that. Okay, and then the filament, as you can see, so it actually burned on this end here. It is where it burned. So it didn't break in half. It burned on that end and fell down. So now, there's no longer a path for the electricity to flow. Hence why the light turned off. Because now there's not a circuit because it was going through that filament. Kind of interesting that it burned a hole in there. Well, I like that demonstration. That's cool. This bulb is extra tough, apparently. See the filament in there, still good? I guess it's just built different. So we've looked at the light bulb. We've seen what it does. Now we have this power drill. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to hold it with my hand, so that's cool. I have, like I said, I have these gloves on. I'll be careful, but I presume it's gonna spin faster. I don't know how long it's gonna be able to last. I've never done this. So I'll plug it in here. All right. We're plugged in. Here we go again. Oh. All right, I'm gonna see if you guys can see this. When I bump it inside the, inside we've got a little bit of arky sparky happening. So I'm gonna see if I can get it on camera. Yeah, it's spinning way faster. And I can already smell it too. It's definitely cooking that thing. So I'm gonna hold it for 5 seconds, continuous, and see what happens. Yeah, it's cooking. Interesting. So it hasn't blown. It definitely is spinning faster. I mean, significantly faster. I'll replay the clip of 120 volts right here. And then back at 208. All right, so we're cooking, baby. That voltage is making that baby spin. That's cool. I'm not gonna hold it until it blows because I don't know how long that could take. And again, probably just gonna start smoking. I don't know. Actually, there'd probably be a cool failure. It'd probably start to heat, melt down. Maybe we'll do that in another video. I'll put a zip tie on it and just leave it. For the sake of this video, we're gonna pause right there. The next one I'm pretty excited about is this toaster. She's cooking. She's cooking. She's cooking. Hey, burn. I just turned the breaker off because I didn't want a complete catastrophe. That was hot. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get 2 pieces of bread. We're gonna cook one for 30 seconds at 120 volts and then one for 30 seconds at 208 volts. 120 volts. I'm gonna plug the toaster in, put a piece of toast in. And she's cooking. Okay, there it is after 30 seconds. Nothing too crazy. Just a little piece of toast. It's starting to get a little crusty on the outside, but other than that, she's dandy. We'll go back to 208 for our final test. See how fast we can cook this piece of toast, which is a nice floppy one. Hasn't been cooked yet. So give me a sec, I'll get back on 208. I'm back on 208. I'm gonna put this piece of toast in here. All right, she's cooking. She's cooking. Okay. Woo! Oh yeah, there's a piece of toast, baby. Toaster's getting hot. All right, so there, we can kind of illustrate the difference of 208 wild leg on a 240-120 Delta system versus just our regular 120 volt. So that's how much more toasted your toast would get. Maybe we're onto something here. Maybe we should just do everything at 208 volts so that our toast toasts faster. Think of how much time we could save with fast toast. So don't steal my idea because it's mine and I just came up with it. Fast toast presented by the 240-120 Delta high leg. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Oh. I hope you guys also enjoyed my mustache. So drop a comment on the stash if you would. Anyway, it's fun. Kind of just a simple way to demonstrate, you know, the high leg. Anyway, just want to make this video and show you guys kind of some of the cool little things here with electricity. So don't come down on me too hard in the comments for not, I don't know, explaining something cool enough or for not buttering my toast and eating it. Maybe next time you guys can watch me butter my toast and eat it. But this time that's gonna be for my eyes only. So anyway, if you guys like this video or if you like your toast buttered, please subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate you guys. We really appreciate buttered toast. If you guys like your toast burnt, please subscribe to our channel. Please subscribe, please. Please. Please, please, please. But I gotta go to bed. I'm getting tired. All right, I'm tired. I'm talking a lot. I don't know what to tell you. And to all the haters out there, stop hating. Stop it. If I have one keyboard warrior in the comments talk crap, I'm gonna not show you guys my favorite toast recipe. Huh? You guys want this toast recipe? Well, don't hate in the comments if you want the toast recipe, because I ain't gonna give it to you. One comment. No toast. Understand? Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I thought. Wow, it's late. I need to go to bed. It's freaky inside here in the shop all by myself. It's midnight. I'm scared. I need my Sparky brothers here for comfort. I need someone to hold hands with. My apprentice, where are you? I don't know why I'm still filming, guys. I'm going. Europeans are always like, we have 240 volts. Americans with their 120 volt, why do they even do that? That's what I thought. Presented by DeWalt. Not really, but DeWalt though, you could hit us up. We do have a lot of your tools. That is all. I think I am done now. I bid adieu. Adieu. So long adieu. A bid, farewell, adieu. Adieu, you farewell, a bid. You guys like my shades? Heat Wave, sponsor me. I take a bold fashion choice by going with the white flowers on the side. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it just like scream, I'm an electrician? Because we're cool? Is that what it screams? You guys like it? Huh? You guys like it? Anyway, what do you guys think of the mustache? That was the whole purpose of the video. I was hoping to get compliments on the mustache. If I don't get any, I'm going to be so sad. I'm gonna have to ask AI if it likes my mustache, and because AI will always agree with anything you say and make you feel better about yourself, it's definitely going to love my mustache. Arguably the best mustache in the world, AI is gonna say. I don't know what to tell you. Mustaches like this don't come around every day, boys.